Are you ready for the annual Social Connections Summit? It's happening August 5th and 6th. This year's summit theme is all about building trust and connecting authentically. That's in both your personal and professional life. Experts, coaches, and social wellness practitioners from all over are going to gather to this one spectacular event to help bring the joy of connection, community, and camaraderie to you. If in your personal life you feel unsupported with your current social circles, or if you don't have a group of peers that are close to you in age and share your interests and lifestyles, if you feel shyness or anxiety when meeting new people, this event is for you. It's going to help you improve your personal life. And in your professional life, if you feel more like an outsider than a team member in the workplace, if you feel like you don't have peers at work that know what's important to you, or if you feel like you always have to go along to get along, you need to be at this event. I promise you, you will leave empowered with skills and knowledge to create the social, emotional support that you need in both your personal and professional life. You don't have to just be friendly at work. You can actually be friends. Come find out how. Early bird tickets are on sale now until June 1st. Early bird ticket holders will receive a private, personalized one-to-one coaching session from up to 3 different coaches of their choosing. That's right, early bird ticket holders will receive private, personalized coaching. If you've been afraid to invest in a coach, this is your opportunity to test drive. If you want an experiential learning environment like none other, where you're going to gain insight from world-class professionals, be empowered by personality tests like the Enneagram and DISC assessments, and have an opportunity to network and share your experiences with others who feel exactly as you do, get yourself to the annual Social Connections Summit happening August 5th and 6th. Go to patternsof possibility.com to get your tickets, or check the link in the show notes. I'll see you there. Hey, what's going on? My name's Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting connections. In this episode, we're going to talk about authenticity. How do you know that you're being authentic? People say be real, don't be fake. I mean, I've heard that all my life. Don't be fake, be yourself, be authentic. Then you'll make connections, you'll make real friendships, you'll meet real people. What does real mean anyway? I've got tons of feelings about it. So we're going to talk about what authenticity means and how you can use it really to make close friendships, connections, real relationships, whatever that means. Seriously, are you ready? Let's go. All right, how many of you heard this? Be yourself. Just go be yourself. You'll make friends, little Timmy. Go on, play with little Betty. You'll be best of friends as long as you be yourself. Or, when you're getting bullied or picked on in school, you don't worry about those people. You just continue being yourself because that's what's going to make you real friendships. I told you I have all kinds of feelings about this, and I'm going to let them all out because I think it's hilarious these days. Because that's the best advice, of course, that they've had for us. They, as in, I think our caretakers or the people who came before us, whatever. That's the advice that they had. Just be yourself. Never mind the rest of the feelings that have come up because you were bullied and you were hurt and you're made to feel like you're less than or not a part of a thing. I'm telling you, I've got tons of feelings. Breathe. Okay. So seriously, I struggled with being authentic for a very long time because it seems like a double-edged sword, right? You learn it when you're young. You do things that seem very natural, that seem very appropriate for your character, and the world responds in a way that says disapproval. I don't like this. You need to change it, fix it, conform, do it yesterday, right? Do it now. Not now, but right now. Whatever this be yourself thing, it feels like a trap. It has been a trap. Don't be yourself. Don't be authentic. be what everybody else is, fit in the crowd, look at what other people are doing and emulate them. Well, you know what? How do they know what to do? How did they know what to do, and why do I have to follow them? Then I think we get to this point. I know I got to this point where I was like, why do I follow them? Who told them what to do? Did they just figured it out? Like, why am I following them when it doesn't feel good to me? It doesn't feel natural and great to me. And I think that when we talk about authenticity, all those feelings come up, when being real and not being fake, they all come up because I tried those things. And many of us have tried those things. We tried to be that person that somebody else likes, to turn off that reaction that we get when we do things without thinking about others. When we start thinking about others, we stop thinking about others and we think about our own feelings, or we don't even actually think about anything. We just act in our normal behavior. And it's something that's conditioned, where we have to change what we say, what we wear, what we do, how we show up, because we want to turn off, we want to stop that reaction that the other people give us, the stares, the picking on, the being pushed around, the being made to feel like we're an other. We want to stop all that stuff. So we end up throwing away the authenticity piece, getting rid of that piece, and conforming to whatever other people are comfortable with. And so, and on one hand, we're getting advice saying be yourself, but on the other hand, not too much of yourself. Ouch. What? I'm confused. I'm out here confused. I think this is my own observations, I think when people say that they want you to be authentic, I think they really do mean they want you to talk about how you feel and honor that with action, and be in alignment with whatever it is you're feeling, and be in alignment with it and do that thing. So if you're feeling happy, do the thing that makes you feel happy, or express it in some way. Especially with interpersonal relationships. Now it gets a little touchy so we're definitely talking about interpersonal relationships, because it gets a bit touchy when we talk about you expressing your happiness in a way that the rest of the world doesn't like they don't like. There's a bunch of feelings that come up with the people who don't like it, and they, in their authenticity, get to have those feelings. And so if you are the one who is expressing something to the world, like you're sending art out there to the world, you're creating a piece of artwork, a statue, or maybe you're creating some music and you're putting it out there to the world for other people to respond and react to, then they get to have their authentic feelings about it. That's your authenticity putting out there, and they get to have their feelings about it and express it just as you do, because you are doing the same thing. So it gets a bit touchy, right, when we talk about creating we're talking about this one-to-many relationships where it's you expressing to the world. But when you are expressing your authentic self to other people, the interpersonal relationships, that's where you can do some real work. And that's where I'd like to look. This is about creating authentic connections with other people, and that's the one-to-one interpersonal connection. So let's stay there. Okay, let's stay there. And so when people say they want you to be authentic in this interpersonal relationship, they really want you to say what you mean and follow it up with actions and behaviors, so that you can be trustworthy, so that when you say yes, you really mean yes, and you're going to follow through with it. When you say no, they're going to have to be butthurt or deal with the feelings that come with it, but that's it. And so they can rely on you to say yes and no in certain situations that is in accordance with your authenticity. But even in those interpersonal relationships, we can still get that backlash, like someone got butthurt because you said no. Ouch. They really wanted you to say yes, but your authentic self and your feelings about how aligned you are with whatever they asked you to do, you do not want to do. And if you were listening to your body and your feelings, your emotions, and you were aligned, you would say no. Boom. No. That's it. And the person who heard the no, they're going to have feelings about it if they really wanted you to do the thing. They may really wanted you to do the thing. That's up they have to deal with that. But the way they may respond to you may feel uncomfortable. It may feel uncomfortable, and you might go back and think, no, really, your comfort is what's most important to me, and I have to not feel like I don't want to do this. I have to feel like I want to please you. I have to feel like I want you to be happy with me. So I'm going to do whatever it is, even though your body, even though your mind, even though your emotions, it's like, no, I don't want to do this. You do it anyway because you don't know how to be authentic. And that's the hard piece of this too, is being authentic. Well, when people say being authentic and real, they want you to act in alignment with your feelings. But man, when you do, they give you the signal that they don't like that you did that. They don't like that you said no. Well, in my journey, in my discovery, I've learned that saying no is the right thing to do if you want healthy connections. And the reason why saying no is the right thing to do is, of course, it's honoring yourself. Because if you're not really into it, you're going to bring your half-assed self to this event or to this favor. You're going to bring that energy of resentment towards your friend or whoever asked you to do this. You're going to bring that energy to them, and that's going to ruin your relationship as it erodes your, connection over time. You're going to be resentful of this thing that you did. You're going to feel like you did them a huge favor, and they have no idea how frustrated you were or how much you didn't want to do it because you didn't express it. You weren't doing that authentic thing. And of course, here's the loop. You weren't doing the authentic thing because you were afraid of their reaction. Ugh. Right. When you're in alignment or authentic, you express your feelings. And it is no. What is difficult piece is sitting with that feeling of someone being disappointed with you. What I discovered is that getting in touch with your feelings and being comfortable and alignment and knowing that this is the correct thing for you to do in the growth of your relationship by saying no, by taking care of yourself, it's going to help grow your relationship. The difficult thing about this, though, is holding space for your friends or whoever asked you for the favor, holding space for their emotions coming at you and trying to change what you feel. It's going to come at you like, oh, yeah, what about this guilt trip? What about this sob thing? What about this, please? What about the favor I did for you? I need that. It's going to come at you pretty hard. But if you stand in what you feel, you stay in alignment with it and be authentic, then your relationship is going to get better. Your relationship is going to stay strong, rather. Because if you're not doing well in your relationship, then they can't do well with a broken person or with a frustrated person. Your your friendship, your connection, whatever it is going to suffer. It's going to suffer. So you have to remember that. And authenticity is the key. Remember how you feel is the most important thing. It sounds selfish because it is. How you feel is the most important thing. We've heard it all the time. You can't pour from an empty cup. You got to put the oxygen mask on first. All those things, they apply to these little pieces of your authenticity. And if it's that important to you, it is worth expressing. If it's that important to you, the person who is listening to you, if they care about your well-being, will figure out something else to do. They will not ask you to change your no from a yes. They will find somebody else. They will figure it out. Because above all, they cherish your well-being. They understand why you said no in the first place. They want your authentic self. I hope this makes sense to you. They want your authentic self. So that means they cherish you when you say no. This is how I think about when people share their feelings with me. I think about it this way. I think about how often or how easy it is for people to hide how they really feel. And if someone is willing to open up, even though it is something that I may not feel good about, that they might like, I treat it as a gift. I treat it as a gift of their experience with me or whatever it is that they're sharing. I'm like, wow. You wanted to share this with me. Even if it's an insult, even if I don't like it, I treat it as a cherished part of them. You know, they cherish their, I get to see their authentic self, rather. I get to see them, and I appreciate it. And so the important piece, I guess, if you were to walk away with anything from it, if you were to walk away with this, with anything, it's that when you share and you're open and authentic, when you share and you're in alignment with what it is that you feel, when you act upon it in the way that you would, you are going to find that there are going to be people that move away from you. There are going to be people that challenge you. There are going to be people that move towards you. And that's exactly what's supposed to happen. This is how you're going to find your authentic friends. I'll be right back with the answer Reddit question. What if there was a way to gauge how well your social connections are going to support you? Maybe you've listened to this podcast many times and you kind of wondered, maybe you think your friendships aren't that bad. Maybe you think that they can do better. Wouldn't it be great if there was a quiz or something to help you find out? Well, there is. And that's why I'm talking to you about it right now. Just go to patternsofpossibility.com and you'll find my quiz to gauge how well your social connections are going to support you. That's in your personal life and professional life. Aren't you at least a little bit curious? Go to patternsofpossibility.com and take your quiz to find out if they're going to be able to support you when you need them the most. Alright, now it's time for the Reddit friendship advice question. If you have a friendship advice question that you think I should answer, tag me in it on Reddit. My handle is Brilliant and Resilient. That's Brilliant, the letter N, Resilient. Party friends versus real friends. I'm in this big group of friends, all in their late 20s, males and females. I met them because they were my boyfriend's guys' friends and their girlfriends, so they're all dating each other. I started to get close with a few of the girlfriends, but lately I just feel like the group isn't the right fit for me. All they do every weekend is get drunk or do drugs, and personally, I can't be around that anymore because I can't control myself around alcohol. I end up blacking out. Especially since this group of people, they drink all day and all night. All right. I'm not really sure what to do. My boyfriend is upset that I want to distance myself from the group because they are his best friends. I do try to find friends that enjoy a more sober, do I try to find friends that enjoy a more sober, damp outlook on life? Or just try to be better with my intake of alcohol around these people? Finding friends in your late 20s is so hard. It's like hard with capital. That's so hard. I feel you. I understand. I used to be in my 20s like 20 years ago. I know, it's such a long time. I'm 40 this year. But seriously, party friends versus real friends. Thank you, Redditor, for writing in. The reason why I picked this one for authentic connections or authenticity is because, wow, this person, their values are changing. And that's something that happens with us. We change our values, our ideas. We do the same thing over and over and over again. And we realize we don't want that anymore. We look for something different and new. We try something different and new. And we feel like, the thing that we've had before served a purpose and we want to keep it. We want to keep that thing, but it may not be serving a purpose. It's not in alignment with what it is that we really feel. That's why I picked this one. It's because it seems like it's happening with this person and their group of friends in their 20s. After a while, you've drank enough Jack and you drank enough Jaeger, Jim Beam, whatever Fireball you're doing. You've done all the drugs and you've felt all the things. You've been blacked out too many times. You've lost so much time by being blacked out. Like, oh, did I do that? You reminisced. You told the same stories. You threw up. There's just only so many times that you may want to continue to have this feeling. There's only so many times you may want to continue to feel the way you do the drinking alcohol, hungover and stuff. So the next phase, it seems like, I don't want to my boyfriend's mad at me. Authentic feelings are coming up. Like, hey, this doesn't seem like I want to be a part of this as much anymore. It's just, I don't feel it. The feeling that she has, I just don't feel it. So she's saying no to her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's like, oh, mad face. I can't believe you want to distance us, their friendship, and we're cool people. How could you change your values? Are you judging us? I'm making all that stuff up. But I can imagine there's a lot behind the no, or a lot behind his reaction to her no. Her essentially saying, I want something different. I don't want to do this thing anymore. And he's like, all the reasons why you should. All of my feelings are important. I want us to be in this relationship with these cool people. So what do you do? What do you do? Finding your friends in your late 20s is so hard, and it is because we change. I think you get more solid in your friendships and your connections when you get into your 30s, because you start having different responsibilities and outlooks. I really believe that the 20s were around for us to explore a little more without our parents, with the autonomy, with the having our own money. So when we were teenagers, we had a little bit of self-expression, but we were under our parents' roof or our caretakers' control, essentially under their care. And so they had the rules, and we had to make our adjustments and be confined within that. But when you're in your 20s, you get to do a little more self-exploration, and usually you don't have the responsibilities of the 30-year-olds. You don't have the family life and the mortgage, and especially at this day and age, you don't have those responsibilities that keep you focused on what's important to you. You get to kind of figure out what it is by trial and error. So you go drink a whole lot, and that's really great and fun to do. I mean, I've done it. Karaoke bars, shut the place down, came to work many times hungover, thinking that nobody knew that I was hungover. I thought I was so slick. Oh my God. But seriously, and I discovered I didn't want to do those things anymore. Just because I discovered it, no one told me to. It just didn't feel right to me. And this is what's happening with this person who's 20, in their 20s. It's like, oh, I'm discovering that this doesn't feel good to me anymore. I don't want to do it. And it's okay to do that. Be in alignment with yourself. And the problem is, the struggle, the pain point is that when you realize you were changing, everything that you were, everything that you did at those points will also change, because your view of it changes. Like, you're looking at this hanging out with people as drinking is not as fun. And you may try to do it. You may try to show up, but it doesn't feel right with your alignment. And you're going to build some resentment, and you're going to want to be in a different space. And eventually you'll go to that different space, but only when you feel like you're ready. Only when you feel like you're ready to do that. And so what I would suggest for this person is to observe what it is that you do not like about being in this space. Do your best to make a conscious effort on finding things that you do like, and realizing that it takes some effort, but you can have a little bit of both if you so desire. But lean towards more of the thing that brings you joy, that you're not obligated to do. Even if that means that you're spending more time alone. Even if that means, and I know it's easy to say because I am behind a computer screen looking at a post that you wrote. But even if that means letting go of your relationship with your boyfriend, it means letting go or not being as close to the people that you're hanging out with. You don't want to hang out with them on that capacity and that level. Then honor yourself and do so, because eventually the relationship is going to be destroyed. You're going to half-ass be there because you're resentful. This doesn't feel good to you. You're being there because you're obligated to. You're worried about how they might think and feel. But underneath, it's brewing and it's stewing. Rawr. And it'll come out. It'll come out. What I'm asking you to do is just be a little more conscious of the fact that it's there. And there's something else that you want to do. So go explore that before it explodes. So you can perhaps tell them, hey, this isn't in alignment with me, and this is what I want to do, without being like, "Rawr, you don't think about me." You don't care about how I feel. I go out and I drink and I do all this stuff and I don't even like it. That kind of explosion. Be mindful of that. Redditor, thank you so much for asking your question. I know that you didn't ask me to answer it, but I did, and I hope that it helps. Best of luck to you. Take care. My name is Coach Lee Hopkins, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. You can find me at patternsofpossibility.com and on all social media at Patterns of Possibility. And as always, I want to encourage you to be yourself, live your truth, and there you'll make lasting friendships.